In this age of social media, it's pretty easy to spread information and misinformation about a lot of things, and science also falls victim to that. Luckily, we have Bill Nye, the science guy, to help show us which are the accurate ones. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how Bill Nye reveals which shows get the science right. Plus, there's more to expect from the man himself, so keep watching for more. Which TV shows, in Bill Nye's opinion, accurately portray science? If you're a millennial, you probably have memories of singing along to Bill Nye, the science guy's theme song as a child. Bill Nye continues to be so influential in the lives of children who are learning about science in general. Nye is currently promoting a new project he will be working on with Seth MacFarlane. He spoke with Entertainment Weekly during the San Diego Comic-Con and explained who, in his opinion, has the facts of science correct. He described television programs like NCIS and CSI as being usually fairly competent in terms of forensics work. He did not give those specific shows a positive evaluation, which is unfortunate if you're a lover of time travel. We cannot go back in time, but wouldn't it be interesting to try? So, time travel shows didn't get their science right, but which ones did? It does make sense that science has to be manipulated in series to make time travel plausible, but that's what's entertaining to see. Which TV program did Bill Nye praise then? You might be surprised to learn that he chose the CBS television series Madam Secretary, which featured Téa Leoni from 2014 to 2019. Bill Nye claimed that the response to the nuclear calamity in the television program was the way you would truly do it. Therefore, you'll be aware that Madam Secretary has his blessing the next time you decide to stream it. As for Nye, he will start making appearances on Peacock's The End Is Nye on August 25th. The 6-part documentary will follow Nye as he demonstrates how to endure various forms of global catastrophes, but we'll get into that later. Now, we'll have to keep in mind which shows to trust when it comes to science, since the science guy himself mentioned it. Despite any discrepancies, we're still going to enjoy our time travel programming. So now, let's take a look at Bill Nye's upcoming miniseries, The End Is Nye. For a while now, Bill Nye has been on a crusade to save humankind. However, 5 years has passed since the premiere of his last Netflix series, Bill Nye Saves the World, and certain things have changed, perhaps not for the better. With Peacock's upcoming docuseries, The End Is Nye, everyone's favorite science guy has changed directions to stay up with the times. It seems that the world is in a worse condition than it was in 2017. At the San Diego Comic-Con, Bill Nye tells Inverse that these are tense times. He clarified that individuals worry about a wide range of issues. Apparently, it's part of human nature to enjoy romantic comedies and entertaining movies when life is nice and cheerful. People watch catastrophe movies when things are tense, which is why 6 of them were produced. Nye teamed up with Seth MacFarlane and Brannon Braga, the minds behind Cosmos' 2014 TV revival, to assist him on his new mission to save the Earth. Making this show was a fulfillment of a dream for Braga, whose background is in science fiction and genre programming. During the panel, Braga revealed that he grew up watching Irwin Allen's movies, such as The Towering Inferno and The Poseidon Adventure back in the 70s. I love those movies, and I love disaster movies. Being able to do a science show and also get to do disasters was a blast. Regarding the collaboration with Bill Nye, it all began with a late-night phone call from Seth MacFarlane, asking whether they might utilize fear as a strategy to achieve good rather than evil. When MacFarlane discussed how fear-mongering is frequently used in the media today, he came up with a way that it may be used for good. Fear is a universal emotion. It grabs you by the collar, Braga says. Can we make a TV show that literally grabs people in the first half and then shows how science and ingenuity can get us through the worst of times and leave you with a really optimistic feeling that we can do better? In The End Is Nye, Nye and Braga recognize that optimism is becoming increasingly scarce. The team acknowledges that sometimes the greatest way to deliver the message is to first terrify the audience to death before moving on to the upbeat part. I get killed in every episode, Nye explained. Everything sucks. And then it's, but wait, if we took the steps and addressed this scientifically, everything would be great. Basically, that's the premise. Any examination of potential major disaster scenarios involves a lot of tedious minutiae. After years of promoting science to enhance the greater good, Nye has concluded that occasionally a spoonful of sugar, or in this case, a big-budget cinematic disaster, will make the medicine go down. He claims that their objective is to pique people's interest in solving these issues. In general, as the ocean gets a little wider, it will require investment to undo the harm caused by heat in the waters, manage it, transfer homes and companies inland, and so on. The first season of The End Is Nye will feature enormous volcanic eruptions, fabled hydrostorms, and catastrophic earthquakes. While there is no assurance that the show will continue after this initial run, both Nye and Braga have ideas for the following one. According to Braga, authoritarianism is one of the probable catastrophes that might happen. He acknowledged that he had never considered that to be disastrous. However, it is an unnatural tragedy that over decades has killed hundreds of millions of people. Despite acknowledging how difficult it is to make an episode about a catastrophe we are still experiencing, Nye said that they have considered making an episode about the pandemic for season 2. In other news, Bill Nye visited his old school in March of this year to observe the most recent changes that a group of current pupils had made to his solar noon clock. The vacant concrete circle in the middle of the Rhodes Hall parapet upset Nye while he was a visiting professor at the university in the early 2000s. To fill the space and motivate both present and future pupils, he intended to include a piece of furniture. Nye said that because the place didn't appear right at the time and lacked a clock, he told Joe Walensky of Cornellians, the student newspaper at Cornell University, that's exactly what he should have done. Nye was motivated by his astronomer father and knew he wanted a special timepiece. Instead, he wanted to include something that would light up at solar noon, which is how his solar noon clock idea came to be. So what is this solar noon they speak of? Solar noon differs from traditional noon by as much as 20 minutes and occurs when the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Nye struggled to come up with a solution to naturally illuminate the clock solely at solar noon during the initial design and construction of the solar noon clock. According to the scientists' calculations, the clock would require a daylighting system that was almost 60 feet long. Before Nye recalled the two Solitube tubular daylighting devices, TDDs, in his eco-friendly Los Angeles home, this initially appeared impossible. To catch daylight from the sun and sky from nearly any angle, even on cloudy days, Solitube tubular daylighting devices use optical domes that sit on the roof of a structure. After being pushed by the domes into highly reflecting tubes, the daylight is then diffused into the space below by fixtures. Solitube TDDs can be customized with extras like a daylighting dimmer or an LED light kit for both commercial and domestic use. Professor Michel Luge of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering and a team of engineering students created an indication that will instruct the Solitube TDD dimmers used in the solar noon clock to open and shut each day when the sun is at its greatest position in the sky. The solar noon clock was first introduced in August 2011 and later upgraded in the fall of 2021 by a group of current mechanical engineering students under the direction of senior lecturer Joe Scovira, PhD, 90, of Electrical and Computer Engineering, to ensure that the indicator regulating the dimmers of the Solitube TDD continue to function flawlessly. The students devised a substitute control system and created new software. The solar noon clock at Cornell University will continue to motivate future generations of scientists and innovators, much like the clock's creator, with the assistance of the university's bright and resourceful mechanical engineering students and the endless daylight provided by the Solitube tubular daylighting device. And that's pretty much everything we have on Bill Nye and his upcoming series. Are you excited to watch it? And which television programs do you believe portray science fairly well? Tell us in the comments section below. Thanks for watching today's episode. And before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. We'll see you again next time.